Before heading to the video, if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it and don't forget to click the bell icon for the latest update notification. If you like the video, do like, comment and share. Stay tuned with learnbay.co. Happy learning!
Manipulating graph size. Now see what we are focusing on. We are focusing on this marks card. Although we have used colors and all those things over here, but now our focus will be over here. I will be explaining you this thing. So number one, managing the graph size. So graph size means this. You click on this and you can increase or decrease the size of the bar. So this is known as managing graph size. Or you can also do one thing, you can put some measure onto it. Let's take profit. Let's try to put profit in the size and see what happens. So you can see the bars are appearing in a different sizes. Some are thinner, some are thicker. So which means if I talk about the furniture, the tables has given us the minimum profit and chairs has given us the maximum profit, which can be seen with the help of the thickness of the bar. Correct? Or let's try to put quantity over here in the size. So it is giving me the quantity. So we can see that the maximum quantity of furnishing. The revenue generated is for furniture, but the maximum quantity is for furnishings. Right? Is this clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is known as managing the graph size. So let's make it thinner. Like this. Okay, second we have manipulating colors. So let's try to manipulate colors. So as you know, whenever we want to put something into the color, we just put drag and drop into the color once. So we are getting the colors over here, or this time let's put the region in the color and see the impact. And let's make the size bit. This is good, right? So I have put the region in the color. Now I want to change it. So either I can double click on the colors and can go to the edit colors, or I can click over here and say edit colors. Now you can click on this drop down arrow. You will see so many colors over here, right? So let's say pink, purple, gray, right? So this is the one you selected it and say assign palette. So the colors has been assigned. You say apply and okay. So all the colors has been changed. And this will be, you have given it for the region. So whenever if you go over here, let's take the sales on the basis of region, and if I put the region into the color, so you will be getting, so this is will be impacted everywhere, not only for this particular chart but for all. And if you want to further edit it, you want to, let's say central region, you want to assign some other color. So here is the palette, you can choose whatever you want, any color can be, say something like this, okay, and say apply. This is how it is appearing. So this is how we can edit the colors. Or you can also put, like, let me take an example of this. Let's put the profit in the color and see what it is displaying. Darker, lighter, lighter, and the lightest. So by this we can also make out that as this is the darkest, it means that the west is the region which has given us the maximum profit. Make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
If I want to put the quantity into the, say, color, let's see what happens. So again, maximum quantity has been sold in west only. Let's take discount in the color. So it seems that the maximum discount has been given in the central region. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I
Yes.
have a
And
doubt here.
please.
If as you said that we have to put any column, only one column name in the color, right?
Yes, yes,
So and it will be applied to all a whole data source, like all the
correct,
sheets.
correct.
So if I have to put any other column in the color for the other sheet, then it is not possible, right?
No, no, it is very much possible. For an example, in this, let's put the category in the color, right?
Yeah.
And here we are using region as a color.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whenever you will be, see the color which has been allotted to the region. If you have assigned a palette for a region, so whenever you will use region in a color, you will be getting these colors only.
Okay.
If you
Yes,
put
sir. Yes, sir.
something else, you will be getting different colors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
welcome. All right. So that was manipulating colors. Third, next we have it displaying the text and the label. So let's take one example. Let's take the sales and the basis of order date. Let's make it entire view,
Rajiv, I have a question.
please.
Uh, in this, we can say that, like in dimension, we can manipulate the colors, but in the measurement call, like in measurement, we can only, manage grayer to darker or darker to,
Yes, absolutely correct. This we have done when we were working on discrete and
discrete and
continuous.
continuous. Yes.
Discrete gives separate colors and continuous give gradients color. So once again, I will put the profit in the color, and I can go over here. I can say edit color. So I can choose whatever I want. Say, let me take a red gold, apply. Hmm?
Yeah.
So I can do it like this.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now we are talking about displaying the text and the labels. So here, if I want to display anything which we want to display in the labels, we simply want to drag and drop into the label. So it is giving the sum of sales. I also want to display the order date. So let me put the order date in the label. I also want to put the profit. I also want to put the discount. I also want to put the quantity. So whatever I want to put, I can put in this. And if I want to format this, I can simply double click on the label, and I can click on this 3 dots, and I can format this. I can make it bold. I can change the size. I can change the color. Now, if I want to write something of my own, I want to say discount, profit, sales, or let's take it as revenue, and let's take the quantity. I want the year to be at the top, year. Then I want the revenue. Then I want the discount.
Sir,
Then
are
I
you doing the
want,
cut paste thing?
yep, Control X and Control V. I want the quantity, and finally I want the profit, and I want it to be the center aligned. Here it is. Say apply and OK. This is how it is appearing. Clear? Now once again, let's go over here. Click on these 3 dots. Insert. So you can, whatever you want, you can also insert. Either you can insert from there, and you can also insert from here as well. Right? Say apply and OK. Now all, as of now, you see all the what do you call, all the values are getting displayed for all the years. I don't want all, I want selected. Now wherever you will click, you will get this values. That is known as selected. Similarly, we also have highlighted. It is also one and the same thing. Then we have minimum and maximum. This is important. Like by looking at this, we can say that Minimum revenue has been earned in 2015 and maximum revenue has been earned in 2017. Then we can also say the line ends. So we started from in 2014 with this value and we reached in 2017 to these values. Okay. Then label most recent, it will give you the last one. So this is quite important, minimum, maximum, and this. And let's take minimum, maximum. This is year wise sales. Let's take the category over here or over here. This is better. So it is, now we have put it on the basis of category. So in right, this is good. In the furniture, minimum sales was in 2014 and the maximum was in 16. In office supplies, minimum in 15 and maximum in 17. And in technology also, minimum in 15 and 17. Right? So this is the basis we can use labels in this. Then getting the tool tips. Now what is tool tip? So let's take the sales on the basis of subcategory. Now, when I move my pointer on this, I got a small white color box. A box is popping up. This box is known as tooltip. This box is known as tooltip. And if I want to put something into this tooltip, let me put the category in the tooltip. Let me put the profit in the tooltip. Let me put the quantity in the tooltip. Here it is. Okay. So here it is. Now all those things are appearing in the tooltip. And if I want to edit this, I can click on this tooltip. Just a second. Okay, I click on this tooltip. I can do the edit. I can change the color. I can change the alignment. Right. If I want to add some more thing into it, you can go to the insert, and these are the various things which can be added to a tooltip. Like I want to update the data source name. I also want to put the data update time. Say okay. Now see, the data source is orders and the last updated was this time. 5th of September, 9:53 a.m. was the last update time of my data source. So this was the last time when I opened my data source. Okay. So this is known as the tooltip. Assigning shapes. So let's talk about shapes. Let's take the sales and the profit. And okay, let's increase the size a bit. Here it is. Now I think we talked about this. Have we talked about this graph? Have you seen this graph initially also?
Yes.
Yes.
When we were reading which topic? In which topic we
Granularity.
have seen that?
Granularity, right?
Granularity, absolutely correct. When we are breaking one big thing to a small parts. So let me put the say category into the shapes. Here it is. Now if I want to edit the shape, I double click on it and there are the various shapes I can change, or I can click on this drop down arrow and I can choose whatever shapes I want. Let's take filled one and assign palette. So it will assign the shape. If I want to give like furniture, I want to take it as a cross. Office supplies, let's take it this. Technology, let's take it as an asterisk, star, say apply and okay. So they are appearing like this. If I want to, let's put the region in the color now. So you see the same color shading we are getting for the region which we have said initially. So now one thing is this, another is suppose in this you want to, if once again let me go to the shapes, and you see what are default fields, arrows, and let me do one more thing. Instead of category and the region, let me put the region in the shape, and let me edit the shape, and let's take this one. Now you see how many regions we have. We have 4 regions, but the shape which we have is 3. Say assign palette. Yes. Now we are getting a warning over here that the shapes which you are assigning is the number of shapes is less than the number of values. A same shape will be repeated. So I said okay to it, and when I say apply, so you will see that the bug symbol is available for central as well as for the west. It is appearing for the 2 things, right? So let's remove this. It looks quite irritating, the bug. Assign palette and say apply. Okay. Now if you want, if you are working on some visualization and you want to put some of your own shapes, right, like your company logos, or if you are working with the visualization of various brands, you want to put a brand logo over there. So let's see how can that be done. Okay, so for that, let's go to the documents. In the documents you will see a folder called my tableau repository. In this you will get an option called shapes. When you will open this shapes, you will get all this gender, arrows, right, and all those weather, custom bars. So those same are available over here also. So let's create our own folder over here. New folder, and let's make it as logo. So we can put some logos over here. So let's take the logo from the Google. And say let's take CCD, or let's take furniture, Godrej furniture logo. Right, let's go to the images. Here it is. Let's take this one. We need a small logo, depends, this is good. Save image as. So we will go to this documents, my tableau repository, shapes, let's take logo, and I say Godrej, save. Let's take another HP. Let's take save image as HP, and no, right. So let's make, suppose, office supplies, this one. Save image as. Now I think it may not come, it is a bigger image, so let's take something else. This is save image as. Let's see if it's office supplies OS. Save. Now Let's go over here and let's put the category in the shapes and double click over this. Click on this drop down. Now you will see that our folder, what was the name of the folder which we created? Logos. It is not appearing over here. So we have to say reload shapes. You click on this, you will see an option called logo. Click on this and say apply. No, assign palette and say apply. Furniture, office supplies and technology. Office supplies, technology, I want this. Office supplies, I want this. Say apply and okay. Here it is. You can increase the size a bit. So this is how it is appearing. Looks good? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So like this, you can put various things over here. You can put the customized images or let me go to the shapes once again. Let's try one more. Custom, say assign palette, furniture, office supplies and technology, apply. Okay, here it is. You can put some icons also over here, or you can put logo, whatever you want. So this was assigning shapes. Then displaying details. So let's proceed further. Displaying details. Let's take the sales on the basis of, let's take category this time. Let's make it entire view. Now if I put the region into the color, see what happens. All the 4 regions are appearing in a different colors, correct? I don't want this. Let me put the region into the detail. So I'm just getting a bifurcation, but it is in the same color. And I want to display the details on the basis of the region. Like, let's take sales. Oh, Control Z. Let's put the sales in the label. Let's put the region in the label. Let's put the profit in the label. Right? So whatever I am putting over here, it is appearing in a, on the basis of, detailing has been done on the basis of region. Correct? So this is known as detail. Without the region being highlighted in a different color, we have able to bifurcate it on the basis of detail. On the basis of region, sorry. This is displaying the same. A small assignment over here, create a bar chart to represent region-wise profit. The bar chart should also display category, sales and profit values. Region-wise profit, a bar chart, right? So a detail option will be here. Display subcategory wise quantity sold and average profit using a bar chart. Subcategory wise quantity sold and average profit needs to be displayed. You have to do calculation over here. Next comes is the formatting of data.
One question on this.
Yeah, please.
In this bar chart, right? So I've added 2 numbers, sum of sales, region, and sum of profit, right?
Yeah.
Like, can we edit that saying sales is this? There are
Oh, yes,
numbers.
why not? You know that. Sales, you click on the label and put the sales.
Okay.
Profit. Revenue.
Okay. Done. Thank you.
Now you know about the labels and you know how to play with the marks card to give your chart a more appealing look. All right. Okay, so proceeding further with the formatting of the data. So let's take subcategory wise sales and let's take order date as well this time, or let's take region. Region wise, subcategory wise sales we are displaying. Suppose I also want the total, so I can go to the analysis and there's an option of totals. I say show row grand total, so it is appearing for the row the grand total, I can go to the analysis and say totals. I want show columns grand total. So I'm getting a column grand total also. Suppose I also have a category over here, and I can go to the analysis and say totals, and I'll say add all subtotals. So I'm also getting a subtotal over here, right? So as of now, I am removing a category over here. So this is what we are getting. Now I want to format it. So one way is you can go to the format and say whatever you want font alignment. You can choose an option from here, like say font. So you will be taken to this sheet, or you can right click over here and say, sorry, right click over here and say format. So again, you will be taken to the same place. Now let's take about the font worksheet. I want to make everything bold over here. I want to change the color. Let's take yellow, orange over here. Let's increase the size of it. This. Hmm. Hmm. Uh, right, tooltip, again you can format the tooltip and all also over here, so I'm not getting into that detail. So this is it, and let's increase the size a bit more. Let's make it 11. Good. Then if you want to display the grand total in some different font, so you can display it in some, let's make it as green. Headers should also be in, let's make it light green. This column will also take it as a light green, like this. So you the formatting. Then we have alignment. If you want to change the alignment, you can change the alignment. Then we have fill. If you want to fill the color, as of now my worksheet is white. I want to make it fill some color. Let's make it black, right? And you can see over here that I am getting an alternate colors, black, white. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so this thing, the alternative color, this is known as banding. We call it as row banding. So this is the band side at the bottom. So if you want the banding, you can do it. If you don't want the banding, you can remove the banding from here. Let's make it entire view. It looks better, right? If you want to have, this is the pane, you want to have some other color. Let's take like this. So no, it doesn't look good. We make it undone. Okay. So like rows, column, whatever you want, you can do over here. If you want to do a particular like region, I want to format a region and I want to give the region some different color. So let me take it as white. So the region is appearing as white, and let me go to the subcategory and I want to make it white as well. Here it is. So this is the formatting which we have done. So this, and if you want to clear the formatting, you can simply say clear. So one by one the clear formatting will be cleared.
Rajiv, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we change the format with a condition?
Yes, we can. We can definitely do that. Coming to that as well. It is a bit tricky over here, right? So you must have thinking in the concept of Excel where we do have a conditional formatting, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So similar way we have over here also conditional formatting, but that is done in a different manner. So I will tell you about that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So suppose I am done with the formatting, whatever I have to do, I simply click on the close button, and now see, now I'm fine with this particular thing, and I want the same thing to be applicable in rest of the sheet as well. So I right click on it and I will say copy formatting, and I can go to the sheet, right click and say paste formatting. I can go over here, say paste formatting. I can go over here, say paste formatting. Right.
Can you show where did you go for the formatting?
I just need to right click on this.
No, not the paste one in the sheet.
Copy.
In the right. So I just go into the format and say whatever you want to, let's say shading, you will be over here.
Okay.
Okay. Here it is. So all right. So this is how we can do that. And this is doing the formatting to the various sheet. Do whatever formatting you want to do on one sheet and then take it to the other sheets as well. So that once it will give a better look when you are doing a when you are working on a this dashboards. So all the charts which you are displaying on the dashboard will be having a same format. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the formatting of the data. Now coming is the calculations. We have done calculation initially also. Am I correct? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
We have done the calculations, right? So let me do some more calculations over here. This is the important one. So the one which we have done, suppose we have taken the subcategory and we have displayed the profit and the sales, and we have gone to the analysis, create calculated field, and we say cost. We cost, we say sum of sales minus sum of profit. Say okay. It has been created. How you will come to know that cost is a this calculated field? What is the indication that it is a calculated field?
There's a
Is equal to.
Measure.
Right. There is a small equal to over here. So let's take the cost. Here it is. Right. Okay. So we have used some functions as well like max and average. Right. We use those. Now, okay. So let me tell you about some string functions. Like let's take analysis, quick table. Oh, sorry. Analysis, create calculated field. Let's take cat, CAT, right? I want the category in short. So I'm using the first two character of the category. I am taking it as cat. So there's a function called left category, comma 2, which means I want to take two characters from the left hand side of category. Say okay. So you can say cat over here. I take it right. So FUOFTE, furniture, office supplies and technology. Similarly, if I want the first two characters of the region, or let's take one character. So I will go to analysis, create calculated field, say RE, and I will take it as left region, comma 1. Apply and okay. So I've got the region. So this time I'm giving you some string functions. So let me put it over here. So let me put it like this. Central, east, south and west, right? So if you remember, have we created the, what do you call it, combined field? Yes, no? Have we created
yes.
combined field?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now let me give you a very good example of that combined field. Now see, I want to combine all these three, RE, cat and subcategory. to display it in a more better manner. So we will say, let's take the cat, let's take the RE, and let's take the subcategory. Click on this drop down arrow, create combined field. It has been created. Let's right click on it, edit combined field. First of all, I want region, then I want category, and then the subcategory. The separator I want over here is, say, let's take slash this time. No, it doesn't look good. I think hyphen is better. Let's take hyphen. Say apply and OK. And let me take this and let me remove this, this, and this. So this is in central furniture bookcase. So a sort of a code we have created for this. Yes? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is good utilization of what do you call it? This combined field. Then we have something known as table calculations. So for that, let me display the sales on the basis of order date, let's make it entire view. Let's also take the, where is region in the color. Now if you see over here, can we see the ups and downs over here in the region? Can we see ups and downs? Yes?
Yes.
Right. But I want to display it in a upward trend. So I can go to the sum of sales. I will click on this drop down arrow in the pill, and you will see there is something known as quick table calculation. And I will say running total. Okay. Now see what happens. I am getting a totally upward trend. I have not manipulated the data. It is correct. But what I am doing, running total means cumulative. 14 plus 15 is 15. 14 plus 15 plus 16 is 16. So let me display it. Let me display the sum of sales in the label. Let me remove the region from the label. So I'm getting the sum of sales. And for your understanding, I'm removing it from here. This, and this. So these are the individual ones. Now I'll go over here, quick table calculation. I will say running total. Now I'm getting running total. So this is the final sales. We started from in 2014 from this much sales, and 2017 till 2017 we have generated this much revenue. Are you getting this point?
Can you show the older graph?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you another example which will be a more simpler one in a tabular format. So let's take the subcategory wise sales. Let me increase the size a bit. Wait. Okay, let me take the subcategory wise sales. Okay, and let me sort it as well. And I will go to this drop down arrow, and I will say quick table calculation. And now you see, whenever I have displayed this cell sales, it is displaying in a sum of sale. By default, it is displaying as sum of sales, total revenue generated in phones, total revenue generated in chairs. But I don't want this sum of sales. I want it in the form of percentage. So I can go to the quick table calculation and I will say percentage of total. Now it is appearing as percentage. So what does this 14% means? Let me go to the analysis, totals, column grand total. What does this 14% means? Can anybody tell me?
Sales.
The percentage contribution of phones in the overall sales. Okay.
Yeah.
Then similarly 14%, 14.14 percentage contribution of chairs in the overall in this thing, right? So let me take the sales as well over here. So I'm displaying both the sales value as well and the percentage value as well. Okay. Now I will like to display quick table calculation, and I will say running total or running total. This will, I hope you will be able to understand in this running total. Can you see the difference? This was the sales of chairs, phones plus chair is this, chairs plus storage is this, and so on. Last it is coming to this. Is it somehow clear?
Yes.
And let me try to take one more example. Let me put order date over here and remove this. This makes more sense. This makes more sense, which says in 2014, the overall revenue which I have generated in the 4 years, that is 14 to 17, that 20% contribution was 20.85 was the contribution in 14, 15 20.26, 16 is 27, and 17 is 31%. So I can see an increasing trend over here, and this is showing the sum of salary. In the 2014, the revenue generated was this much. Till 2015, the revenue generated was this, 16 was this, and 17 was this. I hope it is clear now.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, I told you two things, running total and percentage of running total and percentage. Percentage of total and running total. Percentage total, running total. So whenever you want to display a graph like this, let's take sales on the basis of order date. So if you can connect this to if you have ever interacted with the people who sell the mutual funds and all, right? So they say, okay, you look at the 10 years data. In 10 years, you can see that the growth is so much. It has grown 20 times. So in that case, they display a running total like this. So it will see a great growth from 2000. 14 I started over here, and 17 I reached over here. That means I'm doing a great job. So it is not showing the ups and down. It is showing the end product. Starting from here till here, we have seen a growth, which is true also. We have seen a growth. Okay.
Okay.
So this was running total. Another thing we have over here is compute using. Now let's take sales on the basis of category and subcategory. I make it entire view. Let's sort it as well. And I take the sales once again. I display the labels now, and I will also like to display the subtotals. So I will go to the analysis, totals, add all subtotals. So I'm getting the subtotals as well. Now I will go to this second one, and I will say quick table calculation, and I will say percentage of total. Right. So in this chart, what I'm doing, I'm displaying both the things. So can someone tell me what is the revenue we have generated in chairs? How much revenue has been generated in chairs? Waiting for the response.
14 percentage.
14%.
14 point.
Okay. 14 is the percentage. What do you mean by this 14%? 14% of what?
14 percentage of sales.
Which sales?
Chair sales.
No.
Furniture sales.
Overall
Furniture.
sale.
Overall sales. Overall sales.
Okay.
14% of overall. So if the overall is, this is the overall. Let me see if I can display that as well. Analysis. Total show. Yep. Here you are getting it. Can you see the grand total? This is the overall revenue generated, 100%. So when we are taking 14%, so 14 chair contribution to this sales is this much. Chair, this. Similarly, storage contribution is 9.64 of this. So we are comparing, and whenever we are taking a percentage, we are comparing it to something. So we are comparing it to the grand total. Now I want the percentage of chairs with respect to furniture. So I will click on this drop down arrow in the pill, and there's an option called compute using. And I will say pane down. This is known as pane. This is the entire table, and this is known as the pane. So I will go to compute using pane down. Now you see the difference. What is the percentage of chair now?
42.
42% of what?
42 percentage of sales within a furniture.
Yes. So this is 42% of this. If you 42% of this, this is storage is 31% of this. So initially we were comparing this with the grand total. Now this we are comparing with the subtotal, and this is known as pane. So we are getting the percentage within a pane. Compute the percentage using the pane. Right? Now if you will go over here once again, you will see other option as well. Table across. Across means this. It is comparing it to itself across. This is known as across. So chair is getting compared to chairs, table is to table. That's why everything you will be getting as 100%. Again, you will go compute using. You have table down. Table down means the grand total. So it is getting compared to the grand total. Then we have compute using table. Again, it is table down and table is the one and the same thing. Compute using pane down and pane, again same thing. This is the pane. Then you have compute using cell. Cell is same as table across, so everything will be getting compared to itself. You will be getting 100%. Then you have compute using category. So let's take this category, see what is happening. So in this we are just bothered about the percentage of category overall. We are not focused about the subcategories. So we are just saying that the contribution of furniture in the overall sales, this is 33%. Contribution of office supplies is 30%, and contribution of technology is 35%. Again, I will click on this drop down arrow and say compute using. Then we have something known as subcategory. So it will be same as pane down. So it is getting compared to the subcategory. So this is known as compute using. Is this clear? No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes.
nice. Very nice. So please do remember that you also have to do it. Then only this thing will be actually clear. As of now, me doing it, it looks very easy. But until and unless you do it, you will not get the concept of it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's proceed
One
further.
question. One question.
Please.
Actually, category and subcategory were are columns in this report, right? In this data set.
Yeah.
But this category and that category is different, right? What is? Could you please explain this category also? Category and subcategory.
When we are going into the subcategory, this compute using category and subcategory,
Yes, yes.
this will be depending on the what do you call it? Depending on the dimension and the measure you have taken. So let me do one thing. Instead of this, I take the region, I remove the category from here. Now, although it is quite messy, but I will go to the compute using. Now you see you are getting region over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it depends on what you have selected over here.
It's our columns. Okay.
Ah. Here it is. Now, if you will go, you will be getting the category and the subcategory. Category, subcategory. Clear?
Yeah. So it's the dimension that I've selected. So that also.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So the next thing's coming up over here is conditional formatting. Somebody was asking about conditional formatting, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do the conditional formatting, and it's really a nice one over here. So suppose let's take the sales on the base. No, let's do it like this. Let's take the subcategory wise sales. Let's go to the I am just increasing the size. It is not mandatory. I'm just making it so that it becomes more prominent over here. Okay. For you to get the visible difference. This is better. Okay. Oops. This is good. Here it is. So I want to format it. So for formatting, we have to create a calculated field over here. And remember one thing, if you want to format, the first thing which you have to do is to sort. It is a workaround which we are using for doing the conditional formatting. So we will have to create a calculated field. So I will go to the analysis and say create calculated field, and there is I'm creating a calculated field. Let's say LIND, right? And there's a function known as index. It does not take any arguments. We just have index over here, and I say okay. So the purpose of index is just like a serial number. It will give the number from top to bottom starting from 1. So IND has been created. If I take this, you can see that the numbering has been done 1 2 3 4 so on up to 17. Correct? Now
Yes.
Now again, I have to create another calculated field. So I will create a calculated field, and I will say top 5. I want to highlight the top 5 ones. So I'm creating a calculated known as top 5. So IND index is less than equal to 5. say okay. Now if you look over here, if you remember when I was telling you about the data types available in Tableau, I told you about Boolean data type, which I tell you that currently we do not have, but we will be creating a Boolean data type. So this is a Boolean data type. You can say T and F over here, true false, which indicates a Boolean. Now you just put it into the colors. Here it is. So you can see that the top 5 has been highlighted.
Yeah, I missed something. Top five. Did you select any formula? What is that, or just
I
name
just
top five?
no, we can name it anything. Name doesn't has to do anything with the functionality.
Yeah.
I just put the top 5 in the color, and you see that the first 5 has been highlighted. Okay.
Okay.
So this is an inbuilt function, or
How
did we
does it
define
know?
No, this is a calculation. I think this is a manipulation which we have done. The function which we have is index. Using index, we have got these numbers. Now let me give you one more example. Supposingly you want to highlight bottom 5. You want to highlight
Yeah.
bottom 5. So again, we have to create a calculated field analysis, create calculated field. What's, let me take a name, say B1. I taken a name as B1. Okay. And there's a function known as last. Just like index, we have a function known as last. Now last will also give the number, but from bottom to top. Index has given the number from top to bottom. It will give bottom to top starting with 0. I will say okay. And let's take B1 over here. Let's display B1 as well. So you can see that the number has been given from bottom to top, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I want to highlight bottom 5. So again, I have to go to analysis and create a calculated field. I will say bottom 5. And I will say B1. B1 less than 5. Okay. So it has been created a Boolean data type. Let's put it into the color. The bottom 5 has been highlighted. Is this clear?
Rajiv, I have a question. Like
Please.
we are creating these, like fields or conditional calculating fields.
Yeah.
Like we have created parameters as well, right? So is it is there any difference in creating the parameters or these fields?
Definitely, it is a huge difference between the two. Parameter is entirely different. Parameter is a value. Like if I compare in this, although you have highlighted a very good point, let me show you something. Now I have provided a value 5, right? This 5 can be replaced by a parameter. So parameter is a value which has been supplied to something, to a function. As of now, you can say a value supplied somewhere, that is known as parameter. But field is an individual identity on the basis of which we can do the visualization. Is it somehow clear? Somewhat clear now? Not
but
clear. No problems, no problems. Let me give you an example. You are comparing the field, okay, or I could call it as a dimension or a measure, right? You are comparing a field and a parameter, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Field is a thing on the basis of which we can do a visualization. For an example, this is a field. Profit is a field. I can do a visualization only on the basis of profit.
Okay, now I get your point.
But if I say I want to see those where the profit is less than 20,000, so that 20,000 is a value. Now this value can be passed using a parameter. So parameter is a mechanism to pass a value. Okay. I will give you one more example, practical example, so the thing will be more clear. Okay.
Okay.
So to some extent it is clear now a bit.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
After my another example, it will be 100% clear.
Okay.
Okay. So we have highlighted the bottom 5 in this, and I can remove this B1 and this index. Now you see, now it is look more like conditional formatting where the bottom 5 has been highlighted. Now if I want to highlight top 5, I can simply put that the top 5 in the color. I am highlighting top 5. So as you know, we can have only one thing in the color, so we can highlight either the top or the bottom 5. What if I need to highlight both top and bottom 5? So again, I have to create a calculated field, create calculated field, and I will say TB5. I can give it any name. Okay. So here we have, what was the name? It was for IND. IND and the LAS we were created. So I will say IND is less than equal to 5, or LAS, no, we create up, what was the name? B1. B1 is less than 5. Okay, right? So here it is. Now I put this into the color. Here it is. You can see that the top and bottom 5 has been highlighted. Is this clear now?
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, supposing now I say don't highlight top 5 and bottom 5, highlight top 3 and bottom 3. So what I have to do, I have to edit my calculation, that is top bottom 5. I can click on the edit, and instead of 5 I will make it over here as 3. Okay, so you see the top and the bottom 3 has been highlighted. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now again I say highlight top 6 and bottom 6. Then again I have to make the changes into my calculation. Yes. Now I want to make this thing dynamic. That means here comes the parameter. So let's create a parameter over here. So to create a parameter, you can click on any of the field which you want. Let me take subcategory, or if you want, I can click on, say, let's take sales. I click on this drop down arrow. I say create parameter. Right now you can give it any name. I give it a name as P1, and the data type, I am passing an integer value using this. Current value, I will like to make it as 3. The minimum value I would like to pass with this is 1, and the maximum value which I like to pass is 8 for an example. And I say okay. The parameter has been created, and I can right click on it and say show parameter. So the parameter is over here. Let me hide this. The parameter is over here. But now if I'm moving the parameter, there is no impact of this parameter. So what I will do, I will edit my calculation, or let's create a new calculated field, analysis, create calculated field. I say top bottom n. I will say IND is less than equal to the parameter now P1, or B1 is less than parameter, that is P1. Say okay. Now you put TBN in the color and see what happens. This is now dynamic. 2, 4, becomes a conditional formatting. Good, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Alright. So now the question you have put in, the difference between the field and the parameter, is it now clear?
Yes, it's clear now.
100%.
Yes.
So that means I kept my promise.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so one more thing over here, you can notice that I have given a specifically the maximum value as 8. Why? Because I know I have 17 subcategory, so I can only have top 8 and bottom 8, not more than 8, right? That's why I have taken it as 8. Now if I put it in a visual manner, let me take one more over here. Let me take the sales. On the basis of subcategory, let's sort it. Sorting is important. Let's put it like this. Entire view. Let's put the label as well. And let's put the top bottom 5 in the color. No, not top bottom 5. We will use the parameter one, that is TBN. In the color, we use the parameter control. Here it is. We hide this. Hide card. F7. Here it is. Now see. Okay. So this is now dynamic. You can highlight top and bottom. So this is conditional formatting.
Okay, I have a question here.
Please.
So like you told me that you know the like how many like you have 17 fields, right? So what if there's a huge data, we do not know like how many fields we have, so how can you know, we can create the parameter, like we can give any maximum value?
Yes, you can. If you want, there is an option to know the range of the values which we have. Right? We can know the range of the value. There is a button called get from field. So you will be able to know the range we have.
Can you
Else,
show that?
yes, just a second.
Okay.
If I go to the parameter, say edit, right, set from field. So quantity. So it is saying the minimum quantity is 1, then maximum is 200. Okay. So if we want a parameter on the basis of quantity, if we are seeing how many quantity we have, so this can be done like this. Okay, you don't know how many maximum quantities are there. Is this clear now?
Yes, yes.
So I'm making it as what I have taken over here, 8. Okay. Right. So this was the conditional formatting.
Rajiv?
Yes.
Yeah, Gokul here. So one question.
Yes, Gokul.
For the formula, I was thinking, if can we add multiple formulas in one calculator? Because like, for example, I'm doing...
We have done that only. If you will see this one.
Yeah, we used the OR operator, but I don't want to use OR or anything. I just want two separately, completely separate formulas. Like,
no. If you want to make it in one formula, then the two formula needs to be connected.
Okay.
Right.
We cannot use two.
You try to think of a logic of it, and if you come across some example, then we can work further on it. Try to implement that. Try it. Right. But
no, I was just thinking, can we use any element like separator to put?
No. You are working on the wrong track. It will not be the case.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, right. So how was the conditional formatting? Are you finding it interesting? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So how is the energy in the group? How is the energy? Yes, no, down, up, tea, coffee, break, anything required?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, we can have a break.
Yeah. Only 2 people needs break. How many people? I have 29. Break.
Break.
Yes, break.
Yes, for breaks.
Okay, so according to my watch, it is 11:13. Oh, now it is 11:14. 11:14. We will be proceeding on within next 10 minutes. So 11:24 we will be back. Okay.
Okay.
Take break, have
Okay.
tea, coffee, whatever. You can come along with the tea, coffee in the class, and then we will proceed. Energy is required, and the session should be more interactive and interesting. You should enjoy it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Break time. Enjoy your break time. Okay? Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Right. So before this, let me tell you one more thing. Let's take the sales. No, let me take it on the basis of order date. Let's take sales, or this time let's take profit. Hmm. Mm. Right, this is fine. So what are we displaying over here? We are displaying year wise, and let me see one more thing if it makes sense. This. No, it is better to put it over here. Region wise, year wise, sales is getting displayed over here. Sorry, profit is getting displayed over here. Now I want to see the trend over here. Trend is the increase and decrease needs to be highlighted. So I can click on this drop down arrow and go to the quick table calculation, and we have difference. Click on this. So we are getting the difference. Let me take the profit over here once again. So this is the profit, this is the difference. Let's take let's take percentage difference this time, and let's take profit once again. Let me put the profit over here. Oops, profit, and let me take it over. Profit and this. Okay. So what I am trying to display over here is I am displaying the profit. This is the profit. In 2014, the total profit was 540. Okay. However, in 2000, from the central region, 2015, the profit was this much. So it has been increased number of times. Then in 16, it was this, and 17, there was again a dip. So if we talk about the percentage from 540, it moved to this, that is come down to 2071%. 2000% increase in profit in 2015. Then in 2016, when we are comparing 15 and 16, there was an increase of 69%. And in 17, there was a decrease of 62% when we are comparing 16 and 17. Is this concept clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then now I want to display a trend mark over here. So when there is a up, I should get a say up arrow. When there is a down, I should take a down arrow, and when there is no difference, I should get a null, dash sort of. So let's take it as, so for this third one, so for the, I'm doing for that a symbol which I want, and so let's name it some as DIFF or like percentage difference, PERDIFF, percentage difference. Enter. Now I will make a analysis, create calculated field, and I will say trend. I will say if percentage difference is greater than 0, then I will say, let's take up. Else if percentage difference is less than 0, then I will say down. Else I will say null, or I will say, else I will say no change, and say okay. So I've got a trend over here. Now let me take a shape from here, shape, and let me put the trend in the shape, and let me make it entire view. Now I will go to the edit shapes, make it filled. For down, I will use the down arrow. For no change, I will use, let's say, start. For up, I will use up. Say apply and okay. And let me put the trend in the color as well. And let's edit the colors. For down, I will make it as red. For no change, I will keep it as orange. And for up, I will make it as green. Apply and okay. Here it is. And let's remove the, I don't want the profit from here. I remove this. Remove this. Here it is. Now it is. So we started in 2014 and now we are getting it compared. What was the trend? In 2000 in West. Okay, West region is actually good. If you see West, they are continuously up. There is no down in West. There is continuously up. In rest of the regions, there is ups and downs. Is this point clear? Yes, no?
Yes, but can you explain like how you create this
Symbols.
No, not symbols. How you create this per diff,
Okay, the per diff.
Yeah.
Okay, simply what I have done, if this is the profit, first I have gone to this quick table calculation. I say percentage difference. So I get it over here, percentage difference.
Okay.
Now I move it to the measures section. And when I will say, it will say calculation. I give it a name like percentage difference. Here it is. Now it becomes a measure. Now I can use this measure in my calculation, which I have used it in the trend.
Okay.
right? So we are just taking the percentage difference. Greater than the 0 positive, less than 0 negative, and else there will be no change. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So coming back to this, so these were the few examples of calculation. So again, few assignment for you: display category and region wise profit in a tabular format. Format the worksheet with a background, so some formatting has to be done. You can do that. Display in a form of a horizontal bar chart, category, subcategory wise total sales, sales percentage, and percentage with respect to category. So in this we are focusing on compute using represent year wise profit, that is you are representing the running total over here. Represent subcategory wise profit using conditional formatting, use conditional formatting to highlight top and bottom profit generating subcategories. The number should be dynamic, that means you need to make a use of parameters. Display monthly profit in a tabular format. Order date should be interactive. And increase and decrease should be highlighted using arrow. So this is the same example which we have done right now, similar to this. Okay.
So where we will upload the assignment so that you can provide us the feedback?
I think you should get this from the admin team, or I will ask the admin team for the same, or you can also get in touch with the admin team. So which will be the ID, or you will be sending it to my ID or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so the admin team will be able to answer you this question.
Okay.
Okay, so now proceeding further, we comes to the main important part of the Tableau, that is charts. The various types of charts which can be created in Tableau. So till now what we were doing, we were getting familiar to the various concepts in Tableau, but now we will be actually creating the charts. So before we start with the chart, one thing which you already know is, if we take the dimension first and the measure, we will get which type of chart? Graphical or tabular? Dimension first, then measure. Answer quick.
Graphical.
Tabular.
Tabular, sir. Dimension first, dimension tabular, measure graphical. If we take dimension first, we will get a tabular. If we will take a measure first, we will get a graphical. Right. Let's proceed further. The scatter chart. The first chart which comes up over here is the scatter chart. Right. So let's take the sales and the profit. So we have just created this chart few minutes back as well. When we were talking about the shapes, we created this chart.
Yes.
Right. So this type of chart is known as a scatter chart. This we call it as a scatter chart because it appears in a scattered format. So let's put the segment in the color for an example. So now this is very clear. Home appliances lowest, then we have the corporate, and then we have the consumers. Let's try to put something else. Let's put the region in the shape. Oh, I clicked on this. Region in the shape. I am removing the segment as of now, and I am putting the region in the color. This is how it is appearing. Now let me make it entire view. I click on this, any of this shape over here, right click, and there's an option called drop lines. I click on this drop line, and there's an option of show drop lines. Click on this. Now you will be getting a drop lines to indicate the value. Whenever you click on it, you will be getting a drop line. Okay, but it will appear only when it is clicked. You again right click on it, drop lines, and you say edit drop lines. Now you want this always. So see, these lines are appearing always in your graph. You need not to highlight, it will be appearing always. Again, you right click on it and say drop lines, added drop lines. You want both X and Y axis drop lines, or you just want a Y axis? So I'm getting Y only. Again, right click and say drop lines, added drop lines. So I want both X and Y. And along with this, I also need the label. Okay. So now I'm getting the label also. So this is self-explanatory, the exact value. The sales, the profit and the sales, both the things are getting displayed over here. Is this clear? Then we can also do one thing. So we can put the region in the label as well. Oh, what happened? Control Z. I clicked. Okay. Put the region in the label. So we are getting this. So let's hide and let's hide. So your chart becomes self-explanatory. We are getting the region and we are getting the labels as well. Is this clear?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Wonderful. So this is the scatter chart. Next we have the word map. So for this, let's take the state in the text. Let's make it entire view. And let's put the sales in the size. Now I'm getting a boxes over here. So I will click on this automatic and I can click on the text over here. So I can see that I am getting this the name of the font. The font is written, the name of the state is written in a different font size, bigger and small. You can see that the California is the biggest, then we have New York, then we have Texas, and then Washington, Florida. This is how it is appearing. So what does this size indicating? Bigger size means higher sales, and the smaller size means lower sales. Now let's put the profit in the color. Now what does it represent? It represents dark color means higher profit and the light color means lower profit. Okay, so like we can see, California, good sales and good profit, colors and size indicates. Texas, bigger size means good sales, but color is saying less profit. So let's see. So Texas is basically giving us losses. Same goes with Pennsylvania. Again, good sales, but less profit. On the other hand, if we go to like Virginia, comparatively less sales, but we are getting profit over here. So this type of map is known as word map.
So can you please show how to create it again?
Sure. Okay, before I show that, one more thing. If there is a small button over here, show me. You click on the show me button. So what all the different type of chart I am selecting from here can be selected from here as well. Right?
Okay.
So I clicked on this. And let me do it from scratch once again. So I have taken the state in the text. Or this time, let's try to take the subcategory and see how it appears. Put the subcategory in the text. Let's make it entire view and put the sales, or let's take the, let's put the sales in the size. Now by default, it is coming as the boxes. I will click on this drop down arrow and I will say text. It is appearing as text. So you can see that the name are written in a different font size, which is indicating the sales. Let me put the profit in the color. This time let's edit the color as well. Edit color. Let's take some different color. Gold. Okay. Here it is. So you can see that the phones is represented in a biggest font. Then we have chairs, but the color shading is different. So in phones, maximum sales and maximum profit. Chairs, sales is there, but profit has bit reduced. If you go to tables, big size, good sales, but again very light color, that means loss. Let's take bookcases. Again, these are giving losses. Supplies, loss. Appliance, we have profit. Machines, it is giving us some profit. Color, see the color. I hope this is clear now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. So this was the word map. Next we have a line chart. Line chart. So let's take the, although we have created the line chart number of times, so I'm taking the sales, or let's take profit. I'm taking the profit and the not subcategory. I'm taking the profit and I am taking the order date. Let's make it entire view. Now I want to make it on the basis of month. So it is appearing in the broken one. So what shall be done? If I want a continuous graph, what shall I do? Tell me.
Click on the drop down and choose the option of continuous from the
Right.
bottom.
Second year, quarter. Yeah.
So I have directly chosen the month over here. If I want to put the values, I can also put, let's take the profit in the label. So I'm getting the profit value. Let's see if that works. It is appearing in the percentage, which make more sense. Okay. Now, let me also put the year in this, the month. So where is the order date? Let me put it in the label. Now, as soon as I put the order date, it is appearing as a broken. So I have to make it continuous over here also, month. So I will go to the label and I will say minimum and maximum. Okay. So this is the entire trend of my profit in the 4 years. So in 2015, January 2015, there was a loss minimum, that is 1% loss was there. Now I have shown it in the way of percentage so that it is more easily understandable rather than the big numbers. And December, that was the highest profit, that is 6.2%. So with this, you can also take an idea of the profit margin. If we talk about the overall profit, so this is what we are getting, 6.2%. Is this clear? So this is the line graph. You can definitely increase or decrease the thickness of the line. Fine. So this was the line graph. Okay. Then we have something known as reference line. So reference line, we will proceed on later. Let me give you a few more examples. We have bubble chart over here. So this was a line. Another one, we have a bubble. So let's take the sales on the basis of region. By default, we are getting a bar chart. I can click on the show me and there's an option of bubble. I'm getting a bubble chart. One option is this. This is a shortcut which I'm not going for. So let me clear it all. Let me take the sales on the basis of, let's take region. Let me put the region in the color and let me put the sum of sales in the size. Instead of automatic, I will take it as circle. So I'm getting the bubbles. Let's make it entire view. Let's put the region in the label. and let's put the sales value where it is, sales value in the label. If you want, we can also display the profit in the label. So this is the bubble chart. Okay, let me give you another example of the bubble. This time let's take the sales on the basis of subcategory. Let's put the subcategory in the color. Let's put the sales in the size. Now we will make it circle. Here it is. Let's make it entire view. Let's put the sales in the label, and let me put the subcategory also in the label. This is how it is appearing, right? And instead of this, it will be better if we will say quick table calculation percentage of total. So this is the bubble chart. Let's proceed. Bubble. Then we have bar chart, which we have created number of times. So let's do it once again. Let's do it once again. Let's take the sales on the basis of, let's take the region, and then let's take category, and let's try to put the subcategory in the color. This is how we are getting it. Let's make it entire view. If we want to display like sales in the label, and let's try to display the subcategory also in the label. Here it is. So we are getting the bar chart over here. If we do not want this, we can hide this card. Here it is. So we are getting more space for our chart. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very low. Yes. Only one. Are you people still with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So, yes. Energy is there. You have taken the break now. So the energy should be there. Yes. Yeah?
Low energy.
No energy? Huh?
Energy.
Yes or no? Please speak.
Yes.
Energy is there.
Yes, absolutely. I am energetic and I can continue for the entire day, you know, and we can complete off your tableau in a single day. But I'm not, no worries. I will not be going to do that. And see, because your interest and energy is very much required, then only you will be able to take the input. Okay.
So one question.
So like, sorry. Exactly, exactly. So you agree with me, right? So see, I am trying. Sorry.
Hello? You're doing with the same data set, no? Like, can we get any live data set?
Yes, we will change the data set, sir. No worries. Because see, as of now, what I am doing, I am giving you the I'm giving you the concept basically. You can take any database if you want, and if we get some time, I will try to give you some other database also. Okay, I will share one more database. It's a very small one. Few records from the Amazon, few data of Amazon, and there are few records. So I will share that data and try to visualize this and try to show the trend which I have done with the help of this arrows and all. Okay, I will share that data with you. So no worries, please do not take a mindset that, okay, you will be able to work in only this type of data sets. Right, I have the students from the various sectors. The student from the real estate sector, from the telecom sector, from the manufacturing industries. So all of them are using this in a different manner, the Tableau. Okay. So don't make it a mindset. I'm giving you the examples, that why I am taking this. If you want, I can also tell you how to get connected to SQL Server. It's the same 2 clicks process. In our tomorrow's class, I will tell you that also. You can remind me about that. Okay. So let's proceed further. Bar chart. So there was something more in the reference line. That's why I have skipped it and I have keep it for tomorrow. So I'm giving you some easy stuff as of now. Then we have another type of chart known as tree map. So this was bar. Then we have tree map. So let's take the sales on the basis of, let's take region, and instead of automatic, let's make it a square, and let's put the region in the color, and let's put the sales in the size. So this is known as a tree map. Why? Because there can be a multiple branches of a tree. So as of now, this tree has 4 branches: west, east, central, and south. So let me put the region in label as well. And let me put the sales also in the label. If you want, I can also put the profit. Whatever you want, you can display it. Then let me further put category. Let's put it in the colors. Okay. So now you can see that the bifurcation is done on the basis of further bifurcation on the basis of category. So I'm putting the category in the label over here. So technology, 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 technology. So this entire is indicating the technology part. West, east, central, south. West, east, central, south, right? Then I want to further segregate it on the basis of segment. So let's put the segment in the detail. So it is further bifurcated on the basis of segment. Let me also display the segment in the label. Here it is, consumer. So eastern region, technology, eastern region, sales, profit, and for the consumer sector. Then technology, central region, consumer. This is how. So we are getting more branches of a same thing. That is why it is known as a tree map. Next, we have a bump chart, again keeping it for tomorrow. So
sir, one question.
Please.
In the bubble chart and in the tree chart, can we get the names besides the values? Like
you want
sales.
to adjust these things? You want to adjust this up and down?
No, I want that 135, 441. What is that? We don't know.
So I told you the thing. Now you know, you can go to the labels and write whatever you want. You can write over here. You can say
okay.
Right, I already told you this thing. So if you want to manipulate that, you can definitely manipulate it. Any changes, font and everything can be changed over here. Clear?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Then the bump chart, again, I'm keeping it for tomorrow. Please do remind me that what all we have skipped. We have skipped the reference line and the bump chart. Then it comes to the funnel chart. So, okay, funnel chart, we will keep it as the last topic for today. Funnel chart. So let's take the sales on the basis of, let's take region. Let me put the region into the color and let me put the sales into the size. Let's sort it and let's make it entire view. So this is known as funnel chart. where you can see it is coming from bigger to smaller to the smallest one, like this. So it resembles a funnel from bigger to smaller. That's why it is referred to as a funnel chart. I can display whatever I want in the label region, and let's display the sales. And if I want to display it in can I display a percentage over here, the percentage contribution? Can I?
Yes, please.
How? I just need to click on this drop down arrow, quick table calculation, percentage of total. Simple. Okay. Right? Is this clear? So we
Yes,
are
yes.
right. So this is known as a funnel chart. Next we have something known as advanced funnel. Advanced funnel. So in advanced funnel we have, now what is advanced funnel? This is known as advanced funnel, right? So let's try to do this. So again I'm taking the same thing. So let me take the sales on the basis of region. Let's sort it. Let's make it entire view. Now instead of bar graph, I will go over here and there's an option called area. I will change it to a area graph. Right now look at this shape and look at the one which I am showing in PPT. Does it look like a half of this? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we need to create the second half of it. So for this, second half means this is 0. It is starting from 0. Before 0, that means negative. So for which I have to create a calculated field. I will go to the analysis, create calculated field. So I name it as NESALES, negative sales. So I will say negative sales. Okay, here it is. Now I will take this. So this part is. Now I just need to put it over here. So it becomes the advanced funnel. Now in this, you can go over here. You can display the sales value. You can display the sales. And you can go to the another one. And again, you can display the sales. And this, you can click on this drop down arrow, quick table calculation and percentage of total. Here it is. So on one side you are displaying the exact value and on the other side you are displaying the percentage. So this type of funnel is known as advanced funnel. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
So explain me one more time, sir.
Okay, no problems. Let's do it once again. Let's remove it overall. I have taken the sales. This time let's take it on some other basis. What do you want me to take it on? You'd name any field. I will take it on that basis. Shall we take it on the basis
Category.
of category? Let's take it on the basis of category. Let's take the category. Let's sort it. I have converted to the horizontal bar chart and then sorted it. Let's make it entire view. Now instead of bar chart, we will take a area graph. So it becomes the area. Okay. Now I want the other part of that is the second part, which is before 0. That means negative. So for which I have created a calculated field that is negative sales. Here it is, negative sales. So I have taken this negative sales and I have moved like this. F7. So this funnel is looking like a tub. It looks like a tub because there is not much of a variation over here in the because we have taken it on the basis of category and there is not of much of a variation in that. Right. Let me try to make it on some other basis. Let's try to add subcategory and see what happens. This looks better, right? It looks exactly like a funnel. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So now let's put the label. So I will go to this. I will put the sales figure over here. So I'm putting the sales figure in the label. So this is the sales figure which are getting displayed. I will go to the another one. Again, I will get the sales figure over here, and I will click on this, say quick table calculation, and say percentage of total. Here it is getting displayed. So phones, the contribution is this, chairs, the contribution is this, storage contribution this, and so on. So the minimum contribution is of fasteners and the maximum is of phones.
Rajiv, one question.
Yeah.
But what is the use of creating the other half? Like, we could only keep the first half and show both in percentage and the values, right? Or like, why are we doing this negative side also? Only if we have negative values, okay. Other than that,
No. As you say, I will remove it. Here it is. It becomes an area
so
graph.
funnel is just a simple
Way
form
of
of
representing.
chart.
Way of representing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you want to see
But
which
the
one is
other negative is not giving us any much info, I feel like.
No, it is just for the represent. If you think that this chart looks better, you can go with this. Let's make it like this. This is the area graph. It looks better. This is fine. Right? This is also okay. But if you want to put it in a shape of funnel, that is because for the sake of the funnel chart, we have done like that. Okay, because we need it in the shape of funnel. That's why we have taken the negative sales. Like this. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So this was the funnel chart. Then we have few other charts like waterfall chart, pie charts, and few more. So
Rajiv,
yep.
a question.
Yes.
What do we show here? Like, what kind of representation are we
In this?
giving out with the funnel chart?
With this funnel chart?
Yes.
Okay. See, in this, we are just trying to show, if I want to explain this chart, I will be saying with this chart, we can make out that the phones and the chairs are the two subcategories which has contributed the max to the entire revenue which we have generated. The minimum contribution has been given by fastener, labels, and envelopes. So we can see which is the maximum profit generating thing and which is the minimum profit generating thing, so that further decisions can be taken on this basis. Now you can see that the fastener, the percentage, the revenue percentage is 0.13%. Right? So you can see whether to continue with this particular product or not, something like that. Just giving you an example. So once again, the purpose of the entire visualization is to make the representation of a particular task more easier. Simple representation. If you think that because you are the presenter, if you think that this is the best way of representing, represent it in this manner. If you think no, a bar chart will be a better manner, you represent bar chart. If you think a bubble chart will solve a purpose, use a bubble chart. Whatever you feel like. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to use this one only.
Okay, and in the right side of the funnel, we see sales. In the left side, what is any sales? That is like negative sales. Or
oh, negative sales, yes. Just to get the other half of this, just to get this part, and because this part has to be drawn before zero. Before zero means negative. So I have to create a calculated field that is any sales. I can give it any name.
Okay.
Name doesn't make so much of a difference over here.